Hello and welcome to another update video about ADA. ADA's price appears frozen, unfortunately. Market is certainly still in the correction. There is absolutely no evidence that this correction in this fourth wave, which has turned into quite a complex correction, that this is over. Yeah, absolutely no evidence. Still see the move to the upside as a potential diagonal pattern, but as you might know, diagonals cannot really be trusted. So it's a matter of, okay, do I buy into a questionable scenario, a questionable setup, which might give me a fifth wave, or do I wait until 5 waves are completed, which gives me an understanding that, okay, with a high probability, or let's say at least with a higher probability, a bear market low actually indeed completed, because that's what we need the 5 waves for. It tells us basically that an uptrend has started and the price potentially intends to continue. It would still only be a diagonal. Yeah, and then wait for the wave 2 pullback, right? So that's what everybody individually needs to decide for themselves. If you are interested in buying into ADA, obviously we have a decent pullback right now. We're in a support zone at the moment, as long as we are not breaking below 34.5 cents, which is this golden ratio level. The 61.8 retracement hasn't changed for a long time, really for months now. That, as long as this is holding, I'm watching for a fifth wave to the upside to emerge, okay? That would be ideal to get a diagonal. Obviously, the price would need to turn around before that level is broken. Below that level, it tells us, okay, well, it's likely not a diagonal. It's likely just a simple ABC top, which could then turn into anything really, and that makes it really unreliable. Less reliable than a diagonal even. But in a diagonal, we at least have some parameters we can watch. And that's here. The next support levels are 43.9 cents, 38.9 and 34.5 cents. So it's really important to understand the difference between a reliable structure, which, for example, an impulse is, and a questionable, unreliable, messy structure, which a diagonal pattern in many cases is. There are diagonals that are not so messy, but most of them are, because these subwaves are corrective and pullbacks are typically deep. You get pullbacks where you normally don't expect them. That's what we have to basically expect in diagonals. So if we go to the 1 hour chart, you can see that basically the pattern is still unfolding as planned. There's currently no change to the wave count. So as already explained yesterday, the idea is that this is probably a WXY pattern that developed here, WX, and we could be in the Y wave now. How the microstructure is looking, that's really subjective to a degree, especially in corrections. Literally, this can turn into many different patterns. I normally start with tracking a simple ABC structure. Well, that completed, but the market failed to rally basically in an impulsive way, and it also failed to hold a higher low support. So again, it turned into, an ABC is there, but it turned into a larger combined ABC pattern, where the initial ABC is likely a wave W. The move up then was an X wave. Basically, it's turning into a combination pattern with 2 ABC structures, as it seems. And now this Y wave seems to be unfolding. And it seems to be an ABC structure itself. Even though then I would say even the C wave, if this is a C wave down, the microstructure isn't entirely clear. It's even possible that the Y wave itself is a WXY, but then you get to a point where there's no point labeling the microstructure, because you get to a very complex corrective pattern. Just to put some labels onto the chart, there's no point. However, the price action is telling us that with a high likelihood, this downtrend isn't over yet, or at least as we record this video, there's simply no indication it is. We could also add a bit of a trend line here to see if the market respects it on the way up, basically as a small breakout signal. At the moment, the last rally here, it looks a bit like a 3-wave move up. So as long as we don't even see a break above that trend line, the focus clearly would need to be on further downside. Okay, a break above that level, then we can see, okay, do we break above that B wave high at 52.1 cents? But all of it is not very convincing at this stage. As long as the market isn't printing higher highs or higher lows, then, the fourth wave is still unfolding. Support levels are very clear. Yesterday, I also added different projections, okay, in addition to the standard support levels, different target projections for the different you know, due to the complexity of this structure, there are different ways how like the projections could be done. But we've got the 44 cent level, which overlaps very well here with 43.9 cents. We've got the 40.8 cent level, which is the next one if we break below 44. Then we've got the ascending trend line of this trend channel anyway. Then 38.9 cents. There's really good confluence there at the 50% retracement level and the 1.38 extension. And then 35.9 and 34.5 cents. Below 34.5, however, as I mentioned, things are going to start to look really difficult. Okay, that's my update about ADA. Hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Also, make sure that you follow us on Instagram and Twitter for additional content. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.